Stock Surfer here with another update on Rolls-Royce. There are a few things I want to talk about today, and let's get right into it. In the last video, we talked about a partnership between Virgin Galactic and Rolls-Royce. Um, Quickly, we're going to go over that, but there's a partnership to bring back the Concorde, which would replace first class seating in an airplane and basically give them their own airplane that would get to their destination in one third of the time, roughly, depending on where they're going. If I'm going to pay $10,000 for an airplane ticket, I want to get there much faster than anyone else can, because otherwise, what's the point? You're going to pay $10,000 for an airplane ticket and get, champagne served to you and the best food, or you're going to pay $300 and sit in the very last seat in the airplane, and the first class passenger and the coach passenger are going to arrive at the same destination at the same time. So this is a lucrative business, and in the future, with business and things like that, this is where it's going to go. So just to touch on that, just wanted you guys to see, this is from August. This is from August 3rd, 2020. It's not very current, but just keep that in the back of your heads for when things start to normalize. So today, December 7th, there was some news dropped on Rolls-Royce about how they will be selling their civil nuclear instrumentation and control business. And for those of you who don't really know what that means, the civil would mean like me and you, public, nuclear instrumentation and control business. So instrumentation and controls, I have a background in electrical, so I do know a bit about that. And that is like your devices that would measure flow or measure saturation or X or Y. That would be your instruments that would be measuring certain things. And your controls would be like your circuitry, your X and Y. You push button X and button Y releases the valve over there. You understand what I'm saying? And I don't know what that was. Basically, controls are like a control panel. You push a button here and something else happens over there. And they have a system for, nuclear control, which they're selling today to a French company. We can, I'm not going to go over this too deep, but they're trying to raise $2.65 billion USD, or 2 billion pounds sterling, to help them recover from the pandemic. They're being sold to a French company by the name of Framatome. So, take that what you will. They're trying to make some extra money on things that they don't necessarily care about. So they're trying to cut the fat and stay lean, stay mean, and stay with what's important. One thing I want to mention is this. Books closing. Reason F6 headroom limit on December 7th. That's today. So JP Morgan is the ADR custodian, and I'm kind of jumping ahead of myself, but I've had a few questions, not only on YouTube, but on my other platforms, on what's the difference between, Rice Rolls-Royce, Rice F or Rice Y, RYCEF or RYCEY. And to put it plain and simple, RYCEY, Rycey, the Y is a fifth letter stock indicator, which represents an ADR. And ADR stands for American Depository Receipt. Basically, it means that somebody paid for X amount of stocks, and they're gonna sell them on a different exchange. A headroom, yeah. In certain markets, the availability of DRs permitted to be outstanding may be limited due to foreign ownership limits, local legislation, regulatory actions, or limits set by an issuer. The maximum number of DRs permitted to be issued is referred to as headroom. Described below are examples of markets where headroom limits may apply. So in India, South Korea, and Taiwan, they have some limits listed. You can screenshot this if you want to look at it some more. Um, that's about it. So what that means to me is that they've run out of shares to sell, and they're not going to be, pumping the market with more shares. And what there is set now. So that could be a good thing or a bad thing. Next up, I wanted to show some like a glossary of terms of what is an ADR actually. It's a depository receipt, which basically means that there's a bank or a custodian or somebody with a lot of money who owns a lot of shares of a certain stock, and they're going to take this amount of shares to another exchange. So, to make it very simple, Rolls-Royce is an English company. JP Morgan owns a ton of stocks, a couple billion maybe, or over a billion stocks, and they're going to sell them on the US stock exchange, and that's about it. And it's kind of like, a market maker. Um, to make it very simple, ADRs are always foreign companies listed on American stock exchanges, and an ADR will always have its prices and everything listed in US dollars just to make it easier for people like you and I to invest and understand what's going on. This website is actually ADR.com, and it is run by JP Morgan, and this is the issuer of Rolls-Royce, so that's why I'm showing you this. And yeah, so check it out. There's a lot of useful information. The glossary here has tons of info, tons of just definitions of things that, if you ever had a question, just go here first before you ask it. It's just, there's so many definitions. Anyways, guys, that's about it. I just want you guys to have a good week, and hopefully we all make tons of money. I got two more companies that I'm going to make videos on this week. Stay tuned. Both of them are going to be hitters. Hopefully, I mention them before they explode and make everyone tons of money. All right, guys, Stock Surfer out.